Welcome again, everyone, to episode 14 of season 3 of THREE.Vegas. I am here with our intuitive clinical hypnotherapist, Tammie Roitman, our master astrologer, Kris Gray, and I am an expert, dare I say. You know, my math teacher used to say that an X is an undeterminable amount and a PERT is a drip under pressure, or anyone from out of town. So I do tarot. It is one of my favorite things in the world. I've been studying tarot since I was a teenager, so that's a really long time. But probably the biggest reason why people are drawn to this program is because when we put our undivided attention on you for the amount of time that we do, it is authentic and real and in the moment and aware, which is how we all want to live our life, in the moment, aware, just present. So anyway, we have an amazing guest coming up, and her name is Tiffany. But in the meantime, I want to let you know that this program is brought to you on WWDBTV by the fabulous John Styles. And if you're tuning into this right now, please follow or subscribe to YouTube on this particular channel, WWDBTV, so that we can bring you more amazing programming like this. Because John Styles is a founder that is a way more enlightened soul than the average person, just FYI. So we're going to be right back with Tiffany.
The Showgirl Legacy Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to preserving the historic significance of the iconic showgirl as a performing artist. We achieve this through curriculum-based educational programs in partnership with the Las Vegas Academy of the Arts. The program includes a panel of entertainers and showgirls modeling authentic costumes for the visual arts students to paint. The students submit their artwork to the Showgirl Art Competition that becomes the annual Showgirl Art and Costume Exhibit. The foundation also represents guest speakers that give historical presentations about the Las Vegas Stage Show Spectaculars and their personal experiences. The speaker brings authentic show costumes for photo ops and tailors their presentations for conferences, conventions, luncheons, museums, and other venues. Recently added to the Foundation's repertoire is the talk show The Showgirl Connection with your host, Luann. She interviews former and current showgirls, dancers, entertainers, and all the people behind the scenes that make the magic happen. The Showgirl Connection wouldn't be possible without the partnership and support of WWDBTV and owner John Styles. Learn more about us at showgirllegacy.org and castandcrewreunion.com. For questions, email us at info@showgirllegacy.org.
Welcome back, everyone, and we have the wonderful Tiffany with us today. Hi, Tiffany. Welcome to the program.
Hi. Thank you for having me. Such an honor to be here.
Oh, you're so sweet to say that. So the way the program works is we'd like you to think of a question that's important to you right now. And whatever that question is, we don't care what it is, all right? But you're going to say the question out loud, and then you're going to choose either Tammie or Kris or myself to answer the question first. We're going to each of us are going to spend about 5 to 7 minutes with you. And then you're going to decide who's going to answer the question second. And then that person's going to 5 to 7 minutes with you. And then by default, whoever's quote left over will answer your question last. Now, after we're all done talking with you, then we're all going to jump in and throw our 2 cents at you. Also, any feedback you'd like to give us along the way while we're talking with you, please jump in. This is your collaborative moment with us, so we want you to own it. All right, this is all about you while you're here on THREE.Vegas. So, all right. So, what's your question today?
Okay. Well, thanks again for having me. I feel very special. Lots of questions come to mind, but this one is a big one in life. I'm in an amazing relationship and have been. We're thinking about next step and planning for next steps. I'll say that. And in that, it would require one of us, me, to move completely away from my family and everything I know and everything I'm comfortable with, which I agreed, would be what I would do. And it's just, there's a lot that goes into that. It impacts career and life and all of that. So I'd love to talk a little love life today, and let's see where that takes us.
Okay, great.
Go
Who
ahead.
would you like to have answer the question first?
I'm going to start with Kris. I'd
Okay.
love to hear from her.
I actually saw that in your chart. So
Great.
I actually knew that because I felt it.
Okay, this is good. Here's your feedback. Okay, good. All right.
So just kind of going over your chart, your natal chart first. So Scorpio sun, and then a rising Capricorn. You're at the earliest degree Capricorn rising, which means that Capricorn energy is really strong for you. And Capricorn's ruled by Saturn. Saturn is the planet that rules discipline and maturity and duty and responsibility. And so it's a very stabilizing aspect to have in a ruling planet. So you're a rock to a lot of people. And it also is it brings about maturity at a young age. And then on top of that, what I have noticed with Capricorn rising people is they usually hold on to things forever. Let's say like receipts or like tax returns or like documents. Like they might have things for like decades. So it's if a family ever has they're looking for something, you're usually the person that has it or keeps the documents for people. Or anyways, it's just one fun thing that I've noticed over.
That's interesting. Okay, well that tracks there.
Yeah, it's I see it every time. I
Okay.
love it. My mom's a Capricorn rising, and so I can always rely on her to keep all of my documents, even though I should have them. She always has backups. It's funny.
So what you're saying is, find a Capricorn rising and you're good to just toss everything. Okay, I love it.
There you go. That's not my professional opinion, but
No.
it's certainly nice to have a Capricorn rising in your life. So with that though, you are very focused on career and very ambitious, career oriented, very strong work ethic. You take it very seriously, and it's been a big focus for you, not just because Capricorn is your rising and Capricorn rules like that area of a person's chart. It's, they're always very career oriented. But you also have some really big placements in your house of career and public reputation, which is naturally ruled by Capricorn. So it's almost kind of like you're a double Capricorn. So if you were to read the characteristics of a Capricorn, they're going to resonate very closely. Because you not only have that rising in Capricorn, but you also have what is called a stellium. So a ton of placements that put a lot of energy into that area of your chart. And so it has a lot of Capricorn aspects. So with that, I'm going to dive into that. So you have this natural knack for shining the truth on things, like uncovering things, like being able to dive deep. So I always see this as someone who does something where they're a detective, investigator, auditor, like they're diving into facts and they're uncovering them and they're shining the light on them. So also this would be like an expert witness or someone who is able to be a leader in uncovering things and getting that information out. And then you also have this knack for, if you wanted to, you can transform your career over and over again. So you can actually take your skill set and do whatever you want with it. And you can actually go into like several different kind of niches if you wanted to. So it lends to being able to kind of reinvent yourself career-wise over and over, or really kind of go in a direction. So I'm going to jump down to your love life though, because that was your question. So you are coming into this period that is extremely lucky, specifically for you, specifically with as it relates to your relationships. And this isn't just kind of like short-term relationships. This is long-term. This is life partners and business partners. And so
Okay.
you have this, you're coming into this period, and this is like very recent, like within the last week or so. And I think the stronger we get into June and July, you're really going to start feeling this energy. But what this is going to be is a lot of opportunities for you to take serious relationships to the next level. So, and that's not only romantic, but that's also professionally too. So if there's an alliance that you're wanting, a person that you're wanting to form an alliance with, or a professional partnership, even I keep getting this maybe almost kind of like a consulting role or something like that, where you're kind of going off on your own, but you're not really on your own, but you're more kind of like in an alliance or a partnership.
That's interesting. Yeah.
So the next year is going to be highly favorable for that. And
Okay.
especially later this month, we have a new moon on the 25th of this month.
Okay.
And it's a very, very lucky new moon for you, specifically as it relates to partnerships. So it would be an ideal time to really start putting things in motion for any kind of long-term committed partnership. So romantic and professional, putting the things in motion, start the planning, like really start executing on that. And you're going to have several opportunities over the next year to really kind of define that and tweak it and refine it. So there's a lot of integration coming, but the opportunities for these partnerships to be very prosperous are coming. You probably already feel it. And so as it relates to romantic partnership, if you were to make this step, take this next step and make these changes, I feel like it's going to be very, not only prosperous for you, like a very good alliance and partnership, it's going to bring additional opportunities to you. And I think that's why I'm feeling more of like kind of like the consulting or some type of kind of going off on your own, but there's going to be opportunities. And then in about a year or so, those opportunities and connections and relationships that you are making this year within the next 12 to 13 months, those are going to actually bring a lot of prosperity, abundance, opportunity for additional income. It's highly favored for the self-employed or any kind of like partnerships where you're joining forces financially. Yeah. Also, so this would be self-employed, like client contracts, and even commissions and bonuses and stuff. So that's in the next 12 to 13 months, but it's a direct result of the connections that you make over the next year and the relationships that you take to the next level. So romantically and professionally, you're highly supported cosmically for the next 12 months with a bunch of opportunities to really build these relationships and into something very prosperous and long-term.
Excellent. Well, I'll just add to that. You nailed a lot of that. So I don't know if I should tell you, but I am a independent.
This is your show. Jump in.
Okay. Kris, that's crazy. Okay. So this is the first time I've ever heard anything like that with the first time. So my mind gets blown a little bit. Everything you've said is spot on. I am an independent consultant and career-wise just finished a couple of, well, it's probably 5 years into independence. And then there are a couple of people that want to partner, and we've been kicking this around what to do next. So I loved all of that. It made really good sense. And thank you for clarifying that the love life and the career both line up and are prosperous. That's very interesting. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so who would you like to have address your issue next?
Let's see. Let me think this out. Man, this is tough. I'm going to go with Miss Tammie.
Okay.
Thank you. Well, first of all, it is an honor and a pleasure to be in service to you. So I thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
What I get right when I saw you on the screen, I started to get a sense of fear and a sense of sadness. And I
Okay.
think the sadness is moving away from the family, and the fear is what's going to be with the change, which is
Okay.
perfectly fine. But I also would like you to remember every moment is changing. And
Yeah.
so, because we're not seeing that the moment is moving to a next moment, well, the fear isn't in there. But when we have time to think about it, then the fear kind of comes. But I also want
Right.
to remind you, because I believe that we are always remembering, because we can't learn things we already know, that you have created this in your life because there are connections that you need to make that are not where you're at, and that you have to make that change to be where you want to be. And
Okay.
in that, though, is the sadness of walking away from the family. But I think you're going to find that it's going to be even more special when you go back to visit your family after you move.
Okay.
And it's interesting because there's a part of you that kind of holds back on the freedom and your own independence. And so my notion to you is to talk to your partner and see how you guys are going to keep the independence of what you need to do in life and combine that with a relationship,
Okay.
so that it doesn't feel like I'm constrained, because
Mhm.
you don't like to be constrained, and I don't think your partner does either.
No.
So it's almost like a three relationship in one. And to talk that out about what the expectations are before you move is going to settle your fear down tremendously.
Okay.
Because it feels to me what's coming through is the independence that both of you must have. It's not even a want or a need. It is a must, because you both understand that there are people in life that you need to cross paths with that don't have anything to do with your partner. And you need the freedom to be able to do that without things like jealousy or where you been or the third degree. And right now you have that because you don't live together. And so you can have the same thing living together because you both want the same thing. And that's where communication and really saying, this is what I want. This is what I want. This is what I want for a partner. This is what I want for my life. Not your partner, any partner.
Right.
Not the life you're going to create, the life you want. And to sit down and say, this is what I want. Can you do this? And give your partner the opportunity to say yes or no. If they can, you can say, well, how can you do this? So it's a solid, clear-cut communication. And if they say, well, I can't do this, then it comes down to, well, what can you do? And then it's up to the individual person to say, can I agree to this? Because
Mhm.
once we agree to something, it's an agreement. Now, the agreement can always be changed, but when the foundation is set, first of all, communication becomes much more spectacular,
Mm.
right? And then we know what we're expecting from each other. We know what we're expecting from this move. It becomes a very exciting adventure. Just like learning to ride a bike for the first time. At first, we're like, oh, I'm a little afraid to get on there. But once we're zooming down the street, we're like,
Right.
we're so free. And you're going to find a freedom that you have not experienced up to this point in your life by this move.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah. That's very interesting. That's spot on. There is a hesitancy,
Mhm.
not in the relationship, just in leaving the familiar and 49 years
Right.
that I know back there.
Remember, no next moment is familiar. We think it is, but it's really
Okay.
not. We don't know what's coming up. We don't even know if we're going to be here.
That's
That's
true.
the excitement of life, is
Right.
how do we want to live it in this moment, because it's all we're guaranteed. When we become afraid, then we're not living. We're being a
True.
slave to an emotion that's made up and illusional that we've created through our own mindset and our own thinking.
That's fantastic. I should have called you some months ago there, Tammie. Thank you. Yes. No, that's great. No, that makes
Roads
complete
only cross
sense.
when they're ready to. And maybe in a couple months ago, you weren't ready to hear that.
Okay. No, that's fair too. Yeah, no. Good stuff. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, my turn.
Okay.
All right,
Mona.
draw on your cards. So it's really interesting because what I keep getting for you is that yes, the move's going to happen, and I agree with both what Tammie said, what Kris said, but what I'm going to throw a curveball before I even turn your cards over. What I think is going to happen is you're going to move to where your partner is, but you're going to move an hour away from where your partner feels familiar. So if she's living within a half a mile of all of her connections, what I'm getting is you find a dream house that is a 30 to 50-minute drive away from all of those connections.
That's
Because
crazy, Mona. That's insane. I keep going because
Okay.
I mean, who would know that? But yes, keep going.
Too, because I'm picking up
Yeah,
a lot of nature,
I'm
like
what
in a
I'm
mountain
getting,
or something.
what I'm getting because our Tiffany is somebody that likes projects. When she's not busy doing work, she wants other projects. And I think those projects are around your home. So I think you're going to find the dream home that might be on half an acre, 3/4 acre of land. One of the things you're going to have is your own garden. You're going to grow some of your own vegetables, but there's going to be some remodeling that goes along with the new home that you buy, new to you home that you're going to buy. But you're going to make sure, and this is you searching the dream home that is at least 50 minutes away from where she's familiar with. That's her mini sacrifice to accommodate the fact you're moving clear across the country to be with her. So
Right.
you're going to make that because the life the two of you build together is the more important life at this point. And that I agree with Kris that there's all these opportunities about to happen for you. I agree with Tammie that it is about planning your moments in the moment as best you can. But I do not see you moving next door to everything she's connected to. I
Okay.
see you moving a good 50 minutes away from all that. Now it's still an hour drive for her. She's still connected. She's still there, but you get to have the space of a new grocery store, right? The new favorite restaurant you go to,
Right.
that there's no chance of necessarily running into other friends and family, that you get to build a life that is the two of you together. So now let me turn your cards over. So hold on. Oh my God. So right smack in the middle of your spread of cards is one of my favorite cards in the whole deck. It's right here in the middle. It's a card called Breakthrough. Now, Breakthrough is karma rewarding you. I actually think that there's going to be some very, very positive things that happen around your birthday. This is saying November is a very big power month for you. And anything you're planning right now, I want you to be super patient. Do not reveal everything that you want right now. You're going to have to put that in little tiny bite-sized pieces as you present them. So you can say a statement like this to your partner. You know, it's always been my dream to have, you know, a ranch style house that we can remodel and, you know, that we'll move in and everything, but we'll remodel it piece by piece and get it to be exactly the way we want it to be. But I see us having a garden. I see us maybe even building our own little labyrinth in our backyard, that if we want to do a little walking labyrinth as a prayer, that we have that sacred space that we've created in our own living space. Wouldn't that be cool? So you and then you encourage her to also present the ideas that would make it her dream house. So
Okay.
you can fish for that. If you had a dream house, what does it look like? Right? So the next visit the two of you have, you might actually sketch out, you know, a very raw description of what the floor plan of a house looks like. That would be your dream house. Now, the vision I'm getting is it's an L-shaped house. So the front of it is the long side of the L, and then the two arms are behind it, with one arm being the garage that you pull around the back to go into, and then the other side is the big master suite. All right. And then there's bedrooms and offices and all the other stuff. But the big room in the middle is one big room. All right. But I keep getting this vision for you, and that the whole inside of the L overlooks this courtyard for you, which might be a walking labyrinth. That you only know it's a labyrinth because that's how you built it. Other people just thought it was a nice design in the concrete. But for you, you know that if you needed to have a moment to to chill and settle at the end of the day, you would go walk that labyrinth. And I don't care if you do it with a martini. I'm just saying.
Right,
Okay?
right. No,
But
that's really good. Keep reading, Mona. The martini.
okay, because here's the thing. Right now, or up until now, you've been looking at the move as though it's a source of pain. And I think what
Okay.
we're all trying to tell you here is that the move, according to this card, is a new beginning and a source of opportunity. So when Tammie made the comment of, well, when you go back to visit, you're going to be more welcomed and basically treated better because they've missed you, right? The other thing too is that I think that what Kris is telling you is that the partnerships that are coming your way are all based with the people that you already trust. And so,
Okay.
so it's funny because I don't get a lot of jealousy between the two of you. What I get is not on your part. I get insecurity on her part that she is more afraid of change than you are. And so that's why I'm saying you got to feed this to your partner in just little tiny nibbles, little tiny, and the thing is that you might not spring that your dream house is an hour's drive away from where you're used to living until you find the dream house. Okay. And then you say, I don't know if you're into that, but I found this house. I really want us to look at it. So you go look at the house, and then it becomes her idea. Well, it might not be a bad idea if we live a little bit away from all of this, right?
Okay.
A lot of drama on her end of things. And for whatever reason, she feels like she has to champion the drama.
Yeah.
All right. So what's your feedback for us today?
Okay. Hang on. Okay. One, you guys made me tear up a little bit, which is good. So thank you. Feedback is, this is crazy. Okay. There's no way. Like, everything that you guys said is sketched in my mind, filed way, way back. Where I would be relocating, the desirable location is an hour drive. And it is, I think I heard some background, maybe Tammie say, I'm getting nature and mountains. It is near a mountain range, and it is on the water.
Oh, wow.
So,
that's both worlds.
Yes. My dream house is a lake house, and there's a beautiful mountain range about an hour from where she is. And all of this is spot on. Just, I don't know how you guys pull that out. I barely pull that out, right? I love Kris's feedback in that there's a lot of opportunity in that move, because I'm going to tie all this together. Tammie's feedback is there's some fear. Of course there is. Everything I've known is on the other side of the nation. My entire career is about change constantly. And somebody said early on, finding problems with money. And that's exactly what I do as a consultant. And I help give back in that way. And I've been wondering whether or not to make a career change. I'm at a good point. But part of that, back to Tammie, is because I thought that in order to make that move, maybe I would need to set down career. And I'm not worried. I feel like I could find something else to do. But I think what I'm hearing today is that's not necessary, because there's some auspicious connections that are already there, that are and the planets and everything is in line to support that over the next year. Mona never ceases to amaze here.
Thank you.
I don't know how the 1 hour and the mountains and the moves and the baby bites is the way my better half takes things, and she does champion a ton. There's a lot going on in her life, and I respect that, and I am conscious of that. So I open kimono didn't even describe this. So here we are. Let's just grab our martinis and step out in the labyrinth together. So far I'm blown away. quite frankly.
So in your job, are you able to take on assignments or travel? Like, you don't necessarily have to be in an office. So you could technically kind of base from anywhere, right?
Yes.
And just
Yeah.
go to assignments.
Yes, ma'am.
I feel like there's going to be a lot of kind of like integration between that. Like you
Yeah.
still can pull off the whole whatever kind of work you want to do and keep doing what you're doing.
Okay. Yeah. No, there's no, yep. It's all travel. It's not stationary. It'll be an office, but it is all short-term, interim. Yeah, you nailed that.
When I talked about sitting down and deciding like what you want, that's going to help her learn how to have a relationship that's not give and take, but a flowing.
Okay.
Because she doesn't do that at this point, but this is what's needed for both of you, and both of you want this. In other words, I'm going to do this without any expectation, and she's going to do this without any expectation. And so it's going to be more of a flowing of energy in the relationship rather than I do this, you do that. Does that make sense to you?
It does. I think it does. Yeah, I'd have to sit with that, but I'm willing to bet. Yeah, I can see the difference there through
Yeah.
that communication.
And she's going to feel more part of a relationship other than having to be the one to hold the relationship. And she hasn't experienced that up to this point. That's
Correct.
that's one thing that you bring to the table, that she really loves about you.
And I have two more things to say. First and foremost, the first card in that spread of cards was a card called Inner Voice, and it was reversed. This is your partner who is afraid to face her own power. She is
Okay.
she's incredibly intuitive. She
Yeah.
has all of these amazing gifts, but it's almost as if she's allowing herself to be distracted by the people around her so that she doesn't have to relax into her own intuitive ability. That's number one. Number two,
100%. Yep.
Number two, all the opportunities are coming to you like buses on a schedule. If you don't like the first bus or where it's going, you don't have to jump on that bus. There's going to be another bus that comes along. There will be more opportunities than you know what to do with between now and November. But I really do think that there's some, I actually have three things. There's some sort of crowning opportunity that presents itself to you. The third thing, and this is maybe the most important thing that I'd like to say connected to your career, is that you have created such a solid reputation with what you do that it could be that there's some other sovereign entity that you work with, like a big organization that is bigger than each individual place that you're healing with your efforts, and that you may go to them and say, I could be your problem solver. I could actually see if this company is worth saving. I could do that as my role for your organization. And the cool thing about it is that it would still be traveling, but you'd only be at wherever the place was for say 2 weeks at a time, just
Okay.
to actually find out what was going on. But it would be a whole different way of doing your business. And then if you wanted to start a side business where you grew homemade herbs and sent them to the restaurants, which I don't care what you do moving forward, I still think there's going to be a connection to the thing that you've made a sterling reputation around. So that's my 3 cents. So
3 cents. Thank you. I'll take all 3 cents. Mona, that makes complete sense to me. Just solid reputation, being an independent in what I do. All we have is reputation. And I appreciate that. But it sounds, if I had to summarize that, I'm hearing opportunity for scaling versus independence. There's an opportunity to connect back to Kris's connections here, and Tammie's, let that moment be that moment. Like I usually can find some excitement in moments. And I think if I combine all that you're all three saying, right, there's an opportunity to scale and really do something bigger that doesn't require more work, if you will, or travel.
Right.
Perfect.
Wow. Well, Tiffany. You said you were nervous coming on that, but you
I
have been
was.
the most collaborative guests we've ever had on this program.
Oh, man.
And I thank you,
Thank you.
for allowing us to visit with you and give you our thoughts. If you need to get a hold of any of us, you can do that by going to the THREE.Vegas website. If you want to get
Yes.
even more clarity on your chart, or through the intuitive clinical hypnotherapy that Tammie does, of course, you can also get a hold of me there. But thank you again for being a
Thank
part
you.
of the program.
You
We really
guys
appreciate
are
it.
amazing, and I just say if I haven't had one of you, I look forward to speaking with all three of you separately. So thank you. You have really helped me today. Just I love your breakthrough card. Stick it to the side. That's got my name on it. It helped me today with that.
Yeah.
So
All right. Well, thank you so
standing
much.
ovation for you guys. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. See you next time.
Bye,
Thanks a lot.
Tiffany.
Okay.
All right, you guys, how do you be on 3? Go to www.three.vegas. Go to how to be on 3 page, fill out the contact form. Might take us a few days to get back to you, but we will let you know our next filming dates for the 3.Vegas show. We also can be very open to the idea of you being in studio and being a guest on our program as well, because in a recent program, we were able to do that with Luann, which was just amazing. So thank you, John Stiles, for helping us create this program here on WWDB TV. Please subscribe to WWDB TV on YouTube. I want to thank Tammie Roitman and Kris Gray, and I want to thank all of you for tuning in. And until next time, we'll see you soon.
The cast members of 3 are not professional attorneys, CPAs, psychologists, marriage counselors, physicians, or financial advisors. You are provided with opinions that are unique to each of the intuitive performers. 3 is presented to you for your entertainment.